I think we're good.
I,
You might have to restart it.
no, we're gonna leave it because we're new to this. All right, after years, we are back somehow, some way. Uh, hey guys, welcome to Worlds Collide. If you can believe it, we're back. I'm Matt,
I'm
and
Tony.
here we are. And if there was ever a film that would bring us back, of course it would be Superman. So
Of
this
course.
is super exciting to have this technology figured out because I don't think it was this good 10 years ago when we were doing Worlds Collide. So we've come a long way. Um,
Yep.
so first off, I don't know if we need to thank James Gunn for bringing us back together.
I mean, I guess that's one way to look
Right.
at it. That's the one positive thing, I guess.
But today we are going to review the newest Superman film, the beginning of the DCU. Lot to talk about. It's quite a movie. But first off, Tony, I have to give kudos to you for being able to resurrect the YouTube channel. So it's pretty.
Hey, man, it just
Go ahead. Sorry.
after watching Superman and wanting to talk to you about it. I know we have our lives now. You have your kids and everything. And I just wanted to I don't know. I still love this world in terms of a comic book world. And whenever a good movie comes out that we want to watch, I'm like, fuck, I wish we could talk about it, but
Right.
since we don't have the time anymore. But leave it to Superman for me to be like, let's do it,
Yeah,
let's do
and we
it.
live a little further apart, so it makes it a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
But like I said, thank God we have this technology now to make it good. So if you have not watched this before, Tony and I are Snyder Bros. Not as bad as what you see on Twitter, though. But we
Nah,
hold the Snyder films pretty high in our echelon of superhero cinema. So just want to get that out there before we get into this.
not cultists, as
No, no,
I've
no, no,
been
no.
called a
we
cultist.
we understand that Hollywood is a business, all right? We understand that things need to make money and things need to be well received. We get it. But we're not going to talk about Snyder right now. I'm sure he'll come up at some point because that's all everybody is talking about when comparing anything to the new Superman film to Man of Steel or BVS or whatever. But we're going to start off with, I think, just a quick kind of like 2-3 minute non spoiler review just to give you guys our quick thoughts on it, and then we will jump into spoilers. So if you just want to see our quick review, you can watch the first couple minutes and then save the video and then come back and watch our thoughts, in-depth thoughts about it. So Tony, the DCU has now kicked off. What are your thoughts?
I mean, in terms of the extended universe, not good. But in terms of Superman, I enjoyed the film as I don't even know how to explain it. So when I watched it for the first time, Gunn did have moments where the music and Superman, the poses Superman would do, it hit. Metropolis would hit. But overall, I don't think it was a movie that was groundbreaking or did anything like new or that made me be like, I gotta go to the theater for a second showing. There was nothing in it that stood out to me as like this is a masterpiece of a movie. So my initial reaction when I first walked in and came out, it was like a 7 out of 10. I would say now that I've calmed down and thought about it, I would give it like a 6 out of 10.
That's fair. You enjoyed it a bit more than I did. I think this movie
Hmm.
is super mid. Um,
No
it,
pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. Look, I said when I reviewed Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I said, look, James Gunn has earned the opportunity here. I want to give him a shot. And I told you after you saw the movie that I don't need this to be a masterpiece. I just care about the characters and I just want to see DC have success in the way that Marvel had for so many years. Like, because
Hmm.
you and I have always more uh found ourselves aligned with kind of DC comics and DC comic lore.
Yeah.
So the movie's not terrible. It's not. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I really could nitpick about a lot of things, and that's what I will bring up during our spoiler part of it. Um, in terms of how I feel about the future after this first film, meh. I
I
mean,
don't think there's anything to be excited about.
yeah, I'm not excited.
He didn't he didn't leave anything for the imagination where you're like, I can't wait for the next installment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's really it. So that's really our, I guess, our quick 2-minute non-spoiler spiel. Like it's just we're like, okay, it's
Yeah.
here. So
It's a film. It's a good one-time watch. You know, you
it's a
watch it in
film.
theaters, maybe
I
watch
like
it
that.
at home, but it's not a movie we're gonna keep talking about for the next 10 years. Which, again, we're not here to talk about Schneider, but it's been over 10 years and we're still talking about his movies.
I will definitely turn this movie on like TNT when it's on and I'm cleaning the house and just kind of leave it on in the background.
Yeah.
Like that I'm cool with that.
Well, on the
Um
side note, this movie was also made for different generations. You said your kids loved the movie,
they both walked out and Finn was like, "This is the
so
greatest movie ever." And I'm like, "You
so
need to watch
maybe it
more
was more,
movies."
yeah, maybe it was more directed towards children. Who knows?
I think it was, and we can talk about some of the stuff we saw in there that show that. But I think that's really kind of it for our non-spoiler. We're just both kind of super meh about it.
Hmm.
So if you haven't seen the film at this point, it's going into its third week at the box office. It's got stiff competition this week with Fantastic Four, and Superman's done okay at the box office so far. Like I don't want to, I don't want to be like, oh, it's doing terrible. I mean, it's doing okay. Internationally, it's not doing very well, but it's got tough competition this week with Fantastic Four.
Well, we're going into the third week of Superman with Fantastic Four in competition. It's gonna have a significant drop this week, so that's
Yeah,
all I got to say. I don't. I'm gonna. This is just a guesstimation. This movie's gonna end its run around 500 mil, with
yeah, okay,
like maybe 520. I don't think it's gonna hit even 600.
yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see
So,
how it
I
pans
mean,
out.
I guess you can quote me on it, but that's my guesstimation
Take it to the
of
bank.
where. Yeah. Right now it's sitting at 426. Domestic is 253 and international is 173. So,
So we're filming
uh,
this on what, Wednesday, July 23rd. Can you pull up the Monday and Tuesday box office
Monday and Tuesday.
to see how it's done? Because it did have good weekday numbers last week. Like it was
It did, but
surprisingly how well it did.
I mean, we're also in summertime,
Yeah,
so.
no, and this is why you release a movie like this in the middle of summer because you want to get those viewings.
I'll look for it, but maybe we just
Okay.
go into the.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So now we'll dive into the spoiler section. So again, if you haven't seen it, stop the video here, save it, and then come back and watch, and then we will go from there. So, all right, Tony. Major spoilers. What are like your big likes about the film?
All right, so I did. I'm a sucker for crypto. He was a cool aspect of the film. I really liked him. I did enjoy when I don't know what the new actor's name, but the guy who plays Superman, he had
David
these
Corn Sweat.
moments. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had these moments where James Gunn, if you watch the film, obviously, where he just pans the camera and it has these moments of hope and music that just hits right at the right time, where I did feel a sense of like this is Superman. But again, those scenes are too far and few, I guess you would say. Like I don't know what the right phrase is, but there's just these moments where there's a moment where he punches the main villain, and then the camera pans to him, and you can see the sky in the background and the smoke, and I'm just like, oh, that's Superman, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But then I mean, I guess those are like the main two positives. Also, Metropolis felt like Metropolis in the comics. I would say, like it felt like a shining city where it was bright, and it's not Gotham City, you know.
I will say that's one of my favorite things about the movie is that we are just in the world. There's no or like we're just here, and it felt like a world that was like lived in, and
Hmm.
it was just you could just fully embrace it right off the bat. There was nothing to we don't have to build up towards anything, and I think that was one of the major like strong points of the movie was the fact that
Hmm.
the world is alive.
For sure, for
So
sure.
I actually agree with you almost on everything. I think the world itself was amazing. I think the casting of everyone was perfect. I wouldn't have changed anything. I think everyone that they cast was perfect, from David as Superman or Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Um, I forget the actor's name, but the dude that played Mr. Terrific, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Like all
Yeah.
around, I think all the casting was perfect. And I agree. I put in my notes here. There are some really cool Superman moments in this,
Hmm.
like where you have like a couple of times like just the way the camera pans and like kind of the chest comes up a little bit. You
Yeah.
just feel it with the music swell. Like it was really really cool.
Yep.
And I think the one other standout thing I like was the Mr. Terrific scene when they show up at the beach scene.
Yeah.
I did like that scene.
I did like that scene, and I like how when he starts fighting, it's clear that he's not a fighter. You know,
Yeah,
he's just kind of like,
just
here's my T spheres.
I'm gonna let my tech do the work for me.
Well,
I'll
it's
punch a
kind of,
couple guys.
someone made a comment. It kind of reminded me as I think his name was Rondo in Guardians of the Galaxy with his little
Oh,
stupid
Yondu.
Yandu. I don't know what his
Yeah.
name is. I forgot.
I was like, I don't remember that character.
Yandu. It kind of just reminded me of that, you know, where he's like
Yeah.
whistling and he's
Hey.
just like.
Yeah. Hey, James Gunn writes what he knows, right? But I think that's really it for the things I liked about the film. Like I
Yeah,
really.
and I did like Mr. Terrific. Hey, are we ready to go into what we didn't like? Because I got
I
plenty
think
of
so, because
those.
that's literally, like I said, this is a movie that you could really nitpick about, and you've already said it. This movie was made for a different generation, and it
Yeah,
clearly comes across on screen. Um, I will say that, like, one of my favorite tweets I've ever put out is Man of Steel is Superman for adults, and this
yeah.
movie perfectly encapsulates that. Like, this is a movie for adults, but it's not a deep film. It's not a thinking type of film. It's just a popcorn
Here's
film.
Superman doing Superman things.
Right. So go ahead, kick it off with what you didn't like, or
Um, a big thing I didn't like about the film was the Justice Gang. I
okay.
did not like it. I felt it was unnecessary. I felt the whole beginning, the first 30 minutes of the movie is disjointed. It just kind of starts, and the Justice Gang's already established. I know you liked him, but I did not like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I know he's like the dumbest Green Lantern, but a lot of the stuff he was doing was immature. Like he was using a baseball bat, like he was just doing stuff like middle fingers with the tanks, and I'm just like, I, I don't, I don't know. I hate to say it, but I think Ryan Reynolds was a better Green Lantern. I
That's
also
quite a
didn't
take.
like
I like that.
I also didn't like how they portrayed his powers. A Green Lantern, like it emanates green, and he just kind of like his imagination just makes the green, makes the willpower. And I'm just like, what? I don't understand. Like,
Yeah. No, I
but that's just
understand.
my opinion.
Yeah.
I
Well,
definitely
your
like
opinion's
how
wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
definitely like how Ryan Reynolds had a like his powers would emanate. I'm not saying it's a better film, just
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
I
yeah.
liked how they portrayed his willpower.
Yeah. No, I didn't mind the Justice Gang, but I totally agree. The first 30 minutes is so chaotic and feels very disjointed that, like, I'm surprised, like, released the James cut or released the Gun cut, because it feels like we're missing parts of this movie that might have
Yeah.
given us more time with the characters to establish better things. Because I think he did, like we said, he did a good job with building the world. Like, we're there,
Mhm.
but we didn't get to spend time with anybody. It was like, we're
Yeah.
going, we're going, we're going, we're going.
I
So
mean, it is what it is. It kind of starts with the assumption that it's like, all right, this is where we're at in the story. Here you go.
yeah. And to be fair, there are comic books that you and I have both read that do that. It just
Yeah.
starts. You're just
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be like too harsh about it, but it definitely feels like it could have been maybe 10,
Look,
15 minutes longer.
yeah. Look, I'm not trying to be nitpicky because I have a list of things right here where I do
No,
want
we're
to
gonna
talk
be
about it.
nitpicky. We're gonna be
No, but
nitpicky.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've spent the last 15 years of people taking apart Schneiderverse, right? And
Yeah.
it's for the dumbest things where I'm like, it's literally just like Paul Kent's death scene. It's the Martha scene, and I'm like, now I really want to
Why'd
talk
you say
about.
that name?
I was like, what?
Just kidding.
And I'm like, no. So like one of the things is they say that Zack Snyder butchered these beloved characters, right? But the thing is watching James Gunn's. I'm gonna just bring it out right out the door. Is he butchered Mom, Pa Kent? He butchered Jarell and Laura, and he completely like he made Pa and Ma Kent like these like I don't know. I just didn't feel
It
love for them.
just
He,
wasn't the iteration that made me care about any of them. Like,
yeah,
I didn't care. Like, I mean, like, the mom, Ma Kent really came across as just kind of not mean, but maybe a little cold hearted. Like, especially when she kept calling Pa Kent a mush. It's just kind of
yeah.
like, and I get it. I don't know. Maybe that's just how some
I
people are, but I don't know. I didn't connect to the relationship between them, except for the one scene between, his dad and Clark when
yeah.
they're sitting on the porch. It was a great
Yeah,
scene.
which is in the commercial, which is probably like the
Right,
best
right,
scene between them. But
right.
overall, like their I don't know, their presence in the film just felt like that was the worst iteration of Mom and Pa Kent. Like
I agree with you very
I
much on
even
that.
like Smallville's Ma and Pa Kent better.
Yeah, yeah, no, they
And
had a
then
great
yeah,
iteration.
and then when you go down to it, you got also I don't know what Gunn was doing, but he did the Dragon Ball Z thing, and he made Goku. I mean, he made Superman sent to Earth to basically repopulate. To like I keep seeing all these people joke around about it on X, but it's basically like I sent you to Earth to basically smash every woman. Like,
Yeah, right.
I'm just like, yeah, like I love what Zack Snyder did with Jor-El, and he did world building on Krypton, so you got a chance to see what it was.
That first 20 minutes of Man of Steel is just pure science fiction bliss. I mean, like
Yep.
it's great. And that 20 minutes when in the grand scope of what we got in those films makes it so much more uh what's the right word? I don't know, but it just makes you feel and understand the world more. You understand more about Krypton, right? Like you understand the choices that come later on in Man of Steel and why Zod feels the way he does, why Clark feels the way he does, and and understand Jor-El's assertion in sending Clark to Earth to begin with. So
And the message that comes across in that movie is you embody hope and our people, right?
yeah,
Whereas the message with this new one is just go to Earth and repopulate.
look, I'm gonna be honest. All right, I'm gonna be honest. When the message first came across, it was jarring. But at the end of it, with the way the movie played out, I didn't mind it. I know a lot of people, it's a huge thing right now, but I didn't mind it because it made the conversation with his dad mean more. It made, you know,
I
it made
know.
him embrace who he himself because he's very unsure. Which leads to my next point is that this is a Superman that's supposed to have been around for 3 years, and the dude acts like he's been around for 3 months.
And,
Like
that, and
it's like
that's
it's
yeah,
like
go ahead.
wait, no one's gonna take him seriously after 3 years of saving people. Like I don't like the way the Justice Gang just totally dismisses him. Like it's just like how new is this Superman? Because he's acting like it's day one Superman.
And that's the thing about Superman is he's supposed to be the most powerful, and they call him a metahuman, right? But he's
Yeah,
fucking Kryptonian. He's an alien. Like, he's supposed to be the most powerful. Him and basically Bruce Wayne run the fucking Justice League. But
right.
yet in this movie, he's like a in every aspect, he's a butchered version of Superman. He's not as strong as what Superman should be, because I know James Gunn put out some comments that he wanted to kind of dumb down his powers so he's more relatable, I guess. And
And,
I don't know. In my opinion, I'm just sitting here like, come on, man. Like, I
well,
don't know.
that's what makes Superman one of the hardest characters to write, right? Because he is all powerful, right? It's hard to write
Mhm.
for a character like that, and that's why I think one of the reasons we resonated so much with the Snyderverse was because it wasn't necessarily it was about the power, but how his power affected the world, and I
Yeah.
think that's something that like we resonated to because we hadn't seen those kinds of questions asked before of Superman, really
Well, tho-
really asked, I guess.
those movies are more a grounded version of how would we react in reality. How could Superman save everyone? And the truth is, he can't. He can't be everywhere at once.
Right, it's a
And
harsh
and
reality.
and that brings me to my next point, which and I absolutely despise this aspect of it. But now every movie now has to be like, we evacuated all the buildings. Everything's okay. Don't worry. Citywide destruction, but nobody died. Like, and I see people actually praising this, and I'm like,
I,
it's
it's
literally the Earth is ripping apart into another dimension, and you're gonna sit here and
yeah,
tell me that nobody died, that they
yeah.
evacuated because James Gunn included a scene of evacuation, evacuation.
It's pretty
Like,
impressive, right?
I'm like,
Except
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no. It's pretty impressive, but you're 100% correct. But I mean, at the end of the day, the way the world is, and with the powers and stuff, you just kind of gotta go. All right, I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. You just kind of just let it go, and which makes it feel a little dumbed down. It just does.
And then that's the thing. Like, they included the scene too. It's not a big thing, but they had to show him like saving a squirrel, and I'm just like, or like like, to me, what did Superman actually do in this film? Because the Justice Gang,
That's dude.
the
That's my
Justice
next
Gang,
point.
yeah, they dispatched the kaiju, the alien. They killed it. they 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 went into that war torn area and they fought.
They
But
fought and saved the refugees or whatnot, or the other
what did
citizens.
Superman actually accomplish in
I
this
can tell
film?
you, he saved a child, he saved a woman, he saved a dog, he saved a squirrel, he saved a baby alien. That
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, that literally was my next point. Is he didn't do anything. He
He
didn't do
didn't.
anything.
He really was just Superman doing Superman things. Nobody respected him.
It was
Like,
almost like it was Friends of Superman, the movie. That's
yeah.
what it really kind of felt
And
like. So,
and that's the other thing. It might sound like a nitpicky thing, but BVS got torn apart for having 2 extra heroes in it, and this movie had like 5 extra people in it.
hey man, it's 12 years later, and Man of Steel still gets hotly debated on Twitter. Or I'm
Well,
sorry,
that's the thing you
X.
gotta. It's the thing you gotta ask for Schneider's trilogy. It still gets talked about over 10 years later, where other movies you watch them once and it's one and done.
Look, man, my hot take, and no one's gonna like it, but my hot take is that Snyder's trilogy of Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League is one of the best superhero trilogies of all time.
Yep,
I
and we
I
and we do have
will
to make a video and talk about those one day.
Yes, I am a firm believer in that, and I know that a lot of people will be like, "This dude doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just a Snyder bro." No,
Oh,
it's great, man.
we're gonna catch heat even amongst friends because I know I have friends that swear BVS is not a good movie, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are watching because
Yeah,
I've seen plenty of Marvel films that don't even compare with BVS.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's the best film out there, but
They
it is.
continue to age better and better every year.
It's
Every
just like
year.
It's just like Watchmen. Watchmen to this day still stands the test of time.
Yep, 100%. So another nitpick thing I didn't like, and this is a real nitpick. I think the final scene and the final song with "I'm just a punk rock star, yes I am" was so cringe. It was so cringe. It felt
It
like the end of a child's film because
yeah.
I thought about the ending to the original Superman, the 78 Superman,
Mhm.
where he drops off Luthor in prison and then he flies up and then the sun comes up over the crest of the earth and he's just flying on top of the earth and the music play. It's a great ending. Or even Man of
Yeah.
Steel's ending when he's going to work for the first time and Hans Zimmer scores building whole time and it's welcome
Yeah.
to the planet. Like
Yeah.
great endings. And this one is just, I'm just a punk rock star, yes I am. And I was just like, this is so, this is not good. This
Yeah,
is not
yeah, yeah.
good. But
No.
that could be a true nitpick thing because I think that was ridiculous. What did you think about Supergirl's entrance?
Uh, okay, that gonna bring me into my next point, which
Okay.
I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, and we'll go into Supergirl. But is does James Gunn not like women? It's just a serious question because every woman in his film, like, with the exception of Lois, is like some sort of like over exaggerately, like, I don't even want to say the word, but they're just like Jimmy's girlfriend, Lex's girlfriend, or Kat at the Daily Planet, and then you go into Supergirl, and I'm like, he makes every woman in his film, and like, I don't you know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say,
No,
like,
I hear you loud and clear. Trust me.
with the exception of Lois, pretty much
Yeah.
every woman he did a disservice to them,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't care about any of them. I
No.
give Supergirl a little bit of a pass right now until I see her movie. I didn't like
Mm,
her entrance, but I'm not going to be like overly against it because if that carries into her film and I understand more about who she is, because I obviously suspect she's going to be way different than Clark is in this iteration and her film, that scene may play better once I've seen her film. So I'm going to hold judgment on that one a little bit.
he gave her like the frat girl treatment, like.
Like I said, it wasn't the best first impression, but it may
Mm,
make more sense and I may be more okay with it once I see her movie.
yeah, I mean,
It's
I'm
just
willing
one
to
of those
give it a
things.
chance. I gave this movie a chance. Hell, I wasn't even gonna watch this movie, and last minute I was like, "Hey, Matt, I kind of want to see it. Let's see where it goes." Like, and I try to go into it with an open mind. So, like, overall, like, all these nitpicky things, like, he did have some great moments, but I feel
Yeah,
like the movie was just it was childish. Like,
that's literally the next line is like I can continue to nitpick the issues, but at the end of the day of the film, like I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. It's just kind
yeah.
of there,
Well, that's
you
why
know.
when you give it a 6 out of 10 for me, I know you gave it a 5 out of 10. I think I gave it a
Yeah,
6 out of 10.
yeah.
My honest opinion is it's a movie. I would watch again, but I'm not gonna be talking about it for the next 10 years.
I will watch it again, no doubt. I'm gonna watch it probably 20 more times. I will watch it a bunch of times. Um, and as I said before, I didn't need this movie to be a masterpiece. I didn't. I just wanted to feel like, okay, we are taking a step forward. And I said James Gunn deserved an opportunity to do this, but right now, I just don't think that James Gunn was the right guy to do a Superman film.
No. And
You know,
and I just thought about this right now, but did you notice also, along with the sirens, did you notice that every time Superman does something, like when he laser beams everyone, they all have a scene where they're all getting up and they're okay. They're like they're not hurt. They're all
Superman
humans.
can't kill.
Yeah, he can't kill. And then but no, no, but at the end of the film, the antagonist, he kicks into that other dimension, I think. And
Oh, Ultraman, yeah,
Ultraman, he kicks into the other dimension, and I'm like, I know they're probably gonna have some spiel how he survived or something,
yeah.
but essentially he
There's a
killed him by
there's a
kicking him into
great
the Phantom Zone.
there's a great theory that eventually Ultraman is just going to kind of morph into Bizarro, which I think would
A-
be
And
fun.
and that's
You
where I
know.
thought they were going with the film, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
I, I
I'm all
honestly,
for
I,
that.
I honestly knew that that was gonna be like Superman's clone, and it was gonna be either Bizarro or some form of like Doomsday or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But overall, like a lot of the things that got criticized on Man of Steel, this movie did the same things.
A lot of the same stuff, but
Like the city still got completely destroyed, but yet it's
yeah.
okay
Hey,
because it's James Gunn.
thank God, Mr. Terrific was there to input the code.
Oh my god.
There was no
So
other way to do it.
so
I think,
overall, like I just feel like that this movie gets a pass, whereas Zack Snyder people find a reason to hate.
yeah. No, I mean, we see it on X all the time, and I know you and I don't always chime in to everyone, but we will chime in when we feel it's like, okay, come on, guys, like this is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
are we just trying to rage bait everyone? Because it's like this is ridiculous. Don't be like this. Do
And then
better.
I mean I would like to talk about numbers because
Yeah, bring
for
them
a
up.
while, well, for a while, I don't know if I can find this one, but they were going with the headline that Superman, this was the best opening for Superman ever, but they were including Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday showings for that
Right,
weekend,
right.
which I think it led to I can't remember what it was, but it was like 128 or 124, and then
Somewhere around there,
Superman.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Superman, they were like for domestic, and for Superman, they were like, oh, when Man of Steel came out, it was 123 or something. But then when you include the Thursday showings or whatever, someone said the Walmart showings, the early
I
showings.
remember that. I think
Yeah,
I
you're
see.
at.
I think I have one of those tickets lying around
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. So they're like, oh, so Man of Steel was 128, Superman was 124, but they're trying to go with this, and it's not even just like these articles. It's also YouTubers like Campia, where he's saying this movie doesn't need to be profitable. Like, okay, right or
That's a
wrong,
great point. Great point to bring up.
yeah, right or wrong, why are they trying so hard to put this movie out in a positive light? Like, but this movie is not doing better than Man of Steel. It's not, and I
Yeah.
hate that we're lying about it.
Look, Campia does have a point. The last few years of the DCEU, the films like I like Blue Beetle. I did not care for Aquaman 2. Try the Flash. I like the story of the Flash, but the visual effects are just a joke. Like they're like it didn't have it didn't have the pull that these characters should have, right?
Yeah,
There's years and years and years of story. So he does have a point that it's like, hey, the brand is hurting, and this film just needs to let audiences know, hey, we're coming back. We're trying again. But I hate the fact that they go, it doesn't need to be profitable.
it's a
I think
business.
I think that if you manage budgets correctly, like yeah, there's this film should be profitable, and we don't have to jump into the politics side of it, but it's like, you get these comments from James Gunn about the anti-American sentiment across the world, and now we're coping with why it's not doing well internationally, or they don't know who Superman is, and it's just like,
There's always
that's
some
really what we're gonna do, like, because
there's
guess
always
what,
some
they
sort of
certainly
spin
know
to it.
who they certainly know who Superman was when Zack Snyder did those films. Go look at those international numbers.
Yeah, like the
So
international numbers, I have them right here. They're big. It's 379 million, and domestic he's at 291. So a
what is that
total
for Man
worldwide.
of Steel?
Yeah, this is for Man of Steel. It's ahead of
379 worldwide or international.
international. Yeah.
Jesus. So it's like,
And then you go right now, which we're going into third week, and this Superman movie had somewhere along the lines of
what is it, like,
173 right now. It's at
holy
173
crud.
international.
Like that.
It,
So like it's silly to
so
say
here's the
stuff
thing.
like that.
This movie is definitely going to be profitable, but is it going to be like some crazy margin? No, it's not.
No.
And I know that right now they want the reception more than anything, but like
Right. Because like
you
I said,
already
we have to rebuild the brand. We have to rebuild
yeah.
audiences' trust towards, which is fine. But I just hate the sentiment of like, oh, it doesn't need to be profitable. It's like, well, no, every film wants to be profitable. That's why you make movies to
And
make money. You know,
and
so
that's how
don't.
you get a sequel, and that's how you get a world. If the movie's not making money, you're not going to get a second one.
And speaking of the future, it's a great thing that you said sequel. And speaking of the future, James Gunn keeps hinting that Superman 2 is not going to be like Superman film. It sounds a lot like it's going to be Superman and Batman teaming up, you know? And I don't,
Brave and the Bold.
but it's just like, I don't, okay. So when it comes to the future, let's just go there. When it comes to the future of the DCU, do you feel the future is bright with Peacemaker coming next, Supergirl next year, and then Lanterns?
I'll be honest. I hated Peacemaker. I didn't even finish it. I got like 6 episodes in, and I was
Oh,
like, I
bro,
can't.
you're gonna have to do a rewatch because we're gonna be reviewing Peacemaker.
Yeah, I'll rewatch it, but I absolutely hated it. Like
Yeah,
because what James Gunn essentially did is, and I know this is what the brand wants, but he's making it a comedic show, whereas I love the more grounded. Like this is why I like Captain America, because Winter Soldier was such a grounded and more realistic Avengers film,
right.
and that's why I like Daredevil and Punisher, because I like darker, grittier, movies.
Right.
Where I feel like James Gunn's coming in with all these movies, and they're all basically like comedies. And I feel like
It's
that only
oh
works for some characters, like Shazam. I know you didn't really like Shazam, but I liked the movie, and I liked it. It works for that character because he's a
right,
comedic character.
right. It's funny to say that. Well, it's like the tone of a comic book film can't be dark, and it's like, well, there's plenty of content out there that's pretty dark in tone that audiences seem to love. It's just you guys need to write better stuff. You
Yeah,
know, it's I think as simple as that. Um, I don't think the future's bright. I think it's still ridiculous that no one's really calling out James Gunn for his whole video that he put out a few years ago about chapter 1 gods and monsters, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do Women of Themyscira, and we're gonna do Swamp Thing. And it's like, bro, why are you not starting with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman? Why are we starting with Superman, Supergirl, Clayface now?
I
Like
think
it,
his thing was Guardians of the Galaxy, so he was more like, I'm gonna get the non-popular people popular.
are audiences ready to see Swamp Thing and Women of Themyscira, or do I want to watch Wonder Woman and Batman to start? And then
I,
you start having them pop up in the other films.
it would be better if he started with the main three and branch off,
I'm
and
sorry, like
even
it's the Marvel formula for that phase. Even though back then they still didn't know what they were really doing, but it's like, dude, you establish your core, establish the
yeah.
core, and then you just start popping them in the other stuff, and then you start building it up. And now it feels like more of a world you're lived in. I can't understand why that no one is like James. Like, I understand he's got an issue with the Batman because of Matt Reeves. That's fine. I'll give that a pass. But to hear now, oh, now we're fast tracking Wonder Woman. It's like, I'm sorry. Why weren't you doing that? Why wasn't Wonder Woman your mainstay to begin with? You know,
And
I don't.
and here's my other issue. Even if you do a Brave and the Bold as the next film, who's your Batman? Is it Matt
I
Reeves' Batman, or is it a new Batman? We can't be having all these different iterations of characters. Yeah, I mean you can argue we can do a Crisis on Infinite Earths, but we're not there yet. So why, like, what are we doing? We need news. Is Matt Reeves Batman? Because there is a script for Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2.
posted that photo. Yeah, I posted that photo that the script is
And
turned
James
in.
Gunn has
So
talked about it. So if you're going to continue that Batman universe, and also I don't feel that Batman universe collides with the new Superman we just had. That's what I'm trying to
it
say.
would be one of the great challenges of DC Studios is melding those two worlds together. It would
Yeah,
be
because
very interesting to see how they do that.
I really enjoy Matt Reeves' Batman. It's not. It's. I don't want to say it's my favorite or my worst. I enjoyed it, but that was a very dark iteration of Batman.
Yeah.
And how do you blend that with this very bright and comedic Superman?
Yeah. That's the challenge that James Gunn has ahead of him. So
And yeah, go ahead.
no, it's just yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm not overwhelmed with excitement. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna continue to see everything that they put out, you know, because I
Look,
care more about DC than I do Marvel, you know.
yeah. I hate to say this, and I hate to go back and keep bringing this up, but in 2012, when they had the Comic Con and they announced Man of Steel, my hype level was through the roof. I didn't even know who Zack Snyder was at the time. I didn't
Yeah,
care about
right,
directors. The only
right.
reason I got so familiar with Zack Snyder is because all the hate he got. and that's the only reason I even figured out who he was.
Yeah.
And I never knew where the hate train came from. I didn't know why it was there. But when 2012, I think it was Comic-Con, they showed like a Man of Steel trailer, right?
Yeah.
Super excited. After Man of Steel, they started showing all these logos for Cyborg, Flash, Wonder Woman, and I was like,
remember.
oh my god! Like
they're doing it.
Every Comic-Con, I got so excited for the next trailer, the next hint.
Yeah.
Me and you would talk about it all the time. Dude, the trailer's dropping. Let's watch it.
Yep.
And the excitement level was through the roof. Even at the time, the CW shows we were on Arrow and the Flash, and before they went bad. The early days of season 1 and 2 of Arrow, Flash season 1 and 2, we were on it. And I don't know where, but at some point we took a nosedive, and everything went to shit. The Flash TV show got bad. The Arrow TV show got bad.
The history of DCU is well documented, and we can pinpoint everything, every moment that it just continued to get worse and worse and worse. You know, but maybe we'll make a separate video on our thoughts on that whole saga. And you know, it'd be great to go back and review, because I think we did review Batman versus Superman all those years ago, but we never got to review Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Which and that's like what, a 4-hour film, so we need a whole video in itself just to discuss not even Justice League, but the reception and everything that happened with it.
It was,
and even I know this isn't DC related, but like I read a comment the other day about the Marvel Golden Age, and now we're going into the Marvel, I don't know what age you would call it, the slop age, where most of Marvel films now after Endgame,
the MCU phase.
Yeah, so we definitely have stuff to talk about, but I don't think, and that brings me into this topic. I know we're still on Superman, but I don't think there's superhero fatigue per se. I think it's just these companies have gotten so used to making money that they'll just put out any garbage and think, yeah, this is what they want. They'll eat it up. That's not true anymore.
Yeah. Christian Harloff, I don't know if you listened to him at all, had a great point. He goes, you're right. And he goes, it's a little bit of superhero fatigue in the sense that they're putting out so much content that it became homework. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Disney Plus Marvel shows, like I stopped watching, dude, because I saw how bad they were, and I was like, this is not even worth my time. Like, what is the point of any of this, dude? This is not good. So, look, it seems we're at a turning point. You know, DC is obviously kicking off the universe. Marvel has had to majorly course correct, bring back Robert Downey Jr., and you and I are going to be here for the whole ride. So
yeah, our next video is going to be a Fantastic Four review, I believe.
Yep, we will be reviewing that next week. Comes out tomorrow? But yeah, we will be reviewing that next, and I don't know. We got a lot to talk about. So
definitely, we got loads of content. We just got to get everything figured out, and we'll be having videos every week.
Now that we know how technology works.
Hey, I knew how technology worked. It's just that.
Sorry,
when you're coming back into the game, like before I used to just film, we used to film on my camera and then raw edit, right? Yep. Well, now they have all these programs that just make it in one spot, you know?
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's easier for people, I guess, our age. I mean, you're a little bit older, but you
so
know
old.
I mean.
Oh, fuck you. All right. How dare you?
But
it's good to be back, man. It's good to sit down with you again, and it's good to talk comic books. And movies and.
Yeah, and I hope whoever's watching, any of our old friends or even newcomers, like I hope you guys, dig the content.
Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you at the next one.
Also, don't forget, you don't have to, but it really helps if you hit that subscribe button, if you comment, if you like. That really helps. So, I mean, please comment, and we always love debate. So if you love Superman more than Man of Steel. If you love Superman more than Man of Steel, just let us know in the comments why you loved it more than Man of Steel. Because the big debate's going to be, is Man of Steel better, is Superman better? And I've already seen it all over. In our opinion, Man of Steel not only is the best Superman film, but it's one of the top 3 solo movies, in my opinion, of all time.
100% agreed.
For comic book movies. I don't know if I would put it at number 1. I'd have to really go through the list. But I think Superman's solo movie is probably the top solo comic book movie of all time. One of the top 3.
God, the movie's so good.
But it's hard to do when you talk about solo movies, right? Because there's like so many different new iterations of solo characters.
Look, I would say off top of my head, if I were to give you, we're going on time. Off the top of my head, no order, I would put Dark Knight, Man of Steel, and Logan. Right off the bat.
Okay. Well, I guess that would be considered a solo movie, right? Yeah. Okay.
But
you said Dark Knight. Wait, you said Dark Knight,
Man of Steel, and Logan. No order. I don't know where it would fall. But I would say,
you know what? I would agree with that because Logan was actually pretty
Oh,
damn good.
Logan is so good. So good. Okay, we'll save this debate for another video because this could be a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
So thank you again so much for watching. We appreciate it, Tony. I'm glad to be back with you. And
it's great to be back. I'm super excited, super smiles all
yeah,
like
dude. And we'll see you
nervous.
guys for the Fantastic Four review. All right. See you next time.